think about this. I always wanted to leave my job, but just didn't know what I wanted to do. I just wanted to leave and maybe just do property. So I decided to quit my job.
Wow.
I came into a position that I got rid of all my debt and refinanced. And obviously I've got this little bit of rental coming in now. So I thought, okay, let me rent out the property rent out the rooms and let me just live in one of them. So I lived in one of the properties in my house that gave me the headache.
Yeah.
So I lived in that house with 2 other people while I quit my job.
Wow.
So they were covering your bills. Their rent was covering your bills and
their rent was covering my bills, covering my lifestyle. Plus my dad decided he wanted to invest in Birmingham as well.
Okay.
So this was the time when we were getting, do you remember we used to get like finder's fee, like rent fee?
Oh yeah,
What's it called?
yeah.
Tenant finder.
Tenant finder. I used to get that. So I used to charge.
Yeah, see, tenants used to pay that, innit?
Yeah.
Good times.
Yeah, my dad has a 7-bed.
Yeah.
In Birmingham, in like Handsworth area. And I said, anytime people used to move, I used to take the 150 as like for my dad.
Okay.
You keep the rest, but then because I'm running around and doing meeting people, I'm doing the 150. So that was going in my pocket.
Oh, that's lovely.
My bills at where I live is being paid, and then the little money that I'm getting from Northern is slowly coming in. It's not enough for me to like
To live life.
to live life like I want to. But it was
enough to keep
okay.
you going.
It was enough to keep me going to run my car and everything else. But there was just something in me. I thought, Natasha, this is not enough. There's something missing. I actually miss my job. I don't miss the people, but I miss working in mental health. I love engaging with like my clients. Like they genuinely make me happy. So I decided to kind of research like what I could do with like merging property and like mental health together. And I looked into like supported living.
Amazing.
Wow.
And that's kind of how that got birthed, really.
Okay.
And how did you start up? Was it through?
Wait,
rental?
first of all,
What is
what is supported?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No.
What is supported?
Yeah.
So when you see some people on the street that kind of may look a bit odd, a bit different to you, sometimes they may or may not have a mental health issue, and they usually go into hospital. And when they go into hospital, a lot of them go in for years, sometimes, not months. Sometimes they go in for years. So they end up being quite institutionalized when they come out.
Okay.
So they go to kind of these halfway houses called supported livings.
Okay.
And the staff there and the people there specialise in people that have mental health or maybe even learning disabilities to help them kind of integrate back into the community.
Okay. Makes sense.
And that kind of support is usually 24 hours, like a hospital.
Got you.
So you're kind of trying to get them into a routine, into the community to kind of support them so they can eventually integrate into community on their own and live independently. That's kind of our mission.
Okay.
Got you.
And then, how did you get the first one? Was it through like rent to rent, or was it a purchase?
Yeah, so I told my dad my plan, and he was like, okay, and he saw how passionate I was about it. So he's like, we'll find a property, like I got you kind of thing. So my dad like bought my first property that I used my supported living at.
What location was that?
Shout out to Dad too for
Yeah, for supporting. Yeah, and to be honest,
You like to,
most people don't say it, but most people that invest in their business is friends or family.
Yeah.
Like no one's gonna invest in you if they don't know who you are and trust your tenacity to see it through. Do you know what I mean? So it's amazing that you was able to
But
show.
I think my
show it
dad
to him.
saw I was so hardworking because remember I'm managing his 7 beds.
proof
and
is
it's
in the
My
pudding.
dad,
Yeah.
So when I'm sitting,
That was your way in. Yeah.
So when I was working so hard for my dad and doing all the 7 bed and it was ticking over, that man didn't have to tell me nothing about the house. And I could tell him. I think that's kind of helped as well.
That's sick, man, because I think we don't hear enough of our parents helping us. Do you know what I'm saying? You hear it about other cultures and other colours and stuff, but you don't hear it about the
That's
black
because
community.
sometimes you have to do PowerPoint. Mum, Dad,
Shout out to the
This is what I
Caribbean
want.
because you're Caribbean background.
yeah.
Caribbeans, I feel like from the
I was gonna say,
UK,
yeah, man. Sorry. sorry.
from the Black British sort of like background. There, I mean, you guys have been here, I think, slightly longer in terms of the generationally.
My parents were born here.
Yeah. But you guys like have been knowing like that you guys invest, and I've seen some of my friends that are Caribbean investing early, and I'm like, wow, like I want to do that as well. So I think that's a big shout out to the pops as well. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think my parents are really good examples. Like I said, my mum has been able to kind of retire young because of property.
Yeah.
And now she
Okay.
lives full time in Cyprus.
Okay.
Wow, enjoyment.
So yeah, exactly. So I feel like I know what the benefits and the privilege you
seen
have
it.
when you have
Yeah, you've
property.
seen it.
Yes,
You've
it is
seen
a
it.
headache, but the rewards long term are worth it. But it's a long term game. It's not a short.
Fact. People need to understand that.
Get quick, Rick.
Yeah.
Speed. It's really you gotta be in it for the long haul.
So that first one, I want to go into it. I want to go into it because I know you had struggles with your first one, your first purchase.
So
second one went well. Yeah, second one went well. How was this one? Please tell us. Fingers crossed.
I'm not even joking. It really was a walk in the park.
No. Your first supported living.
My first supported living. No.
Oh, it wasn't.
It wasn't a walk in the park. Okay, tell us.
Worse than the first house, or?
Well, it was empty. Nothing kicked off for 2 years.
Hey,
people need to 2 years,
bruh.
You know what though? Okay, before you even go there, you mentioned that your dad helped you get the house.
Yeah, get the property.
So is there a type of property that's needed for that type of
Yeah, so the property he bought was a detached property, a 5-bed detached family home that he bought. But also, can I say as well, remember, I remember this business hasn't kicked off in a good 2 years. The 7-bed that he has, because it brings in so much money, he actually covered the mortgage on the current house that he rents.
Wow, yeah.
Plus the other one. So my job really was just to make sure
that room
that first house.
The first house is always full.
It was always full.
His dad wasn't going to disturb you.
And my dad didn't. And for that whole 2 years, dad didn't say nothing.
So you didn't pay him rent for that whole 2 years?
No.
Oh wow.
But I made sure. But my dad wasn't paying me for that. The little money I was getting was before the government revoked that.
Yeah.
So that's kind of how I was surviving, really.
I'm going to go into the first one and how it went and stuff like that. But that thing, because I think people are going to talk about it in this episode, that transition between working full time to going full time into business is such a, it's not a stable situation. People see it and just make it sound sexy. I hate my job. It's not for me. You know what I mean? But that transition is clearly not easy. But I'm glad you're brave enough to go through it. But with the first house, how was that? Managing it, stuff like that?
Because in supported living, you've got big conglomerates. You've got pension funds that own these supported living, so they're like a big deal. And I'm just little old me starting out. So commissioners and social workers, they already have their people that they're referring to. So for me to kind of break in there, I had to be the yes person for everything.
Okay.
So eventually, I did get someone. So it really kicked off in August. I got my first person in November. I lowered my rates, so it was ridiculous. A social worker was like, "Yep, I've got you another black lady. Yeah, I've got you. Let me send a referral your way," which she did. And I got a person. She told her colleague sent another person, but I was literally getting the wrong amount. The money that I was getting to support them wasn't even enough to even do anything. But it was all about me just getting my foot in the door. I continued to send emails. I used to with the local authority, you're supposed to have contracts. So some of the contracts I had to do like myself. I had to just learn how to do these contracts. Eventually, those clients that I had, they were only with me for about 9 months, and we're back to square one again. So not having anything.
And it probably isn't as easy as finding a normal tenant, is it?
No,
because these are kind of specialists as well. Plus, sorry, I also forgot, I also registered with CQC, which is the Care Quality Commission. So a lot of social workers will ask you if you're under that regulated body before they'll even work with you.
Wow. So if you're not, then it's a bit like...
Not to say they won't work with you, but
it's beneficial.
It's beneficial.
They'd
They'd rather work with someone that's regulated than not.
They send people out to check things and do checks on the house.
Yeah, it's basically like a body that you'd have for like the GMC as a doctor.
Oh,
you wouldn't be a doctor if you ain't got a GMC.
Facts.
Yeah.
Okay, just to dumb it down for 1 second, how do you get paid? Who is it that actually pays you per?
Yeah, so in terms of support, so the social workers will make a referral to our facility and they'll go to like a funding panel. It can get real technical, but just to make it simplify it, these clients, because they're so vulnerable, they're under a special care act, like the Mental Health Act. And because they're on this Mental Health Act, whatever they need, the government will support. So for some clients, I get paid by the NHS, because we're NHS approved, as well as we will also get paid from the local authority. To support them as well. So that's kind of how it works.
So is there like main councils that you work with then? Or?
Yeah, I work with quite a few.
Okay, are they based in like... Where are they based?
Everywhere. From Birmingham to Shropshire to Staffordshire to Coventry.
So all over the West Midlands, basically.
Yeah, I've got Kent.
And Kent as well.
I've also got Haringey.
Wow. Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
So anyone out there that's
has a property out there, connect.
Yeah. Anyone that has any landlord in those areas can basically get in touch. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Okay. So obviously you got your first one, like you said. It took you 2 years for it to start running.
Yeah.
Eventually you got your first two. Then after that, was it just
Yeah, after that, it kind of snowball effect. So once I had the first one, it was the second one, then it was the third one, then it was the fourth one, now it's the fifth one.
Okay.
Wait,
when you say fifth, you mean tenants or?
No, fifth services. I've got about 5 services now.
Oh, wow.
Amazing.
And I have about 30 staff.
Wow. And this is each one's generating good money?
Yeah.
Some numbers at all? Or is it GDP?
It's sustain itself, so yeah.
Okay. I'm GDPR. I don't want to get Natasha in trouble, you know what I mean?